Monarchical levels.
What is it?
That might work.
Good morning, Mrs. Keller.
What?
Did I not hear her sneeze?
Yeah, she's here.
That's what I thought. Good morning.
She's froze.
Is she froze?
Yeah.
No, she didn't.
She's not frozen.
No, she's just pissed at you.
She just got bad and stood there and like.
Is that what it is?
She just
It
stood.
tells you the
No,
line
she
if
just sat
within
there.
the Sims
Froze
game.
again. Oh, no.
It's probably going to be semi-accurate,
She's
right?
getting really mad. She just holds
And
it.
it'll probably give you what you're looking for. So,
Is she good to go?
Mrs. Keller, do you want to start?
All right, good.
She can't
Apparently I was freezing.
Yeah.
What would you like me to talk about? What's going on?
Do you want to start off with the math today, or do you want to do that later?
Oh, sure, we could do the math
I
today.
think we need to do the math first because they need to incorporate that into their.
I think so too.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna put you on the big screen here, kiddo.
Okay.
How's baby today?
She's frozen. She's froze again.
The baby froze. Wow, that's interesting.
Blame Haley.
Still, baby.
I'm gonna throw this out there too. Why are you on Wikipedia?
What? I'm just looking
Oh,
at.
shh.
It's reference.
Taxonomic levels for medieval monarchy.
I remind you all, infographics are not like a PowerPoint presentation. You can use a PowerPoint slide to create the infographic, but if you have more than one slide, you've done it wrong.
So this is not due today, or no?
It is. You have an hour, remember? But you have to include significant digits, and you guys said the other day you couldn't remember significant digits.
All my information. I just need
I'm very.
Paige, would you find the remote for the projector, please, and turn it on? It's gray, tiny,
Top right
top right-hand drawer, maybe.
Do you want me to run through what I did with the
Sure.
Berkeley students?
Sure.
Okay.
We've set aside a half hour for this.
Wait, so we have an hour to work on it?
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna run and grab
Okay.
something from the
It
copier.
needs to be done.
I apologize, I'll be right back. So guys, what we're gonna do is take some good old-fashioned notes just for about 20 minutes or so. And the purpose of this is for you guys to document what significant figures are, write down the rules, give yourself some examples. I'm gonna help guide you with this, and so you won't be deer in headlights. And then that way you can keep these notes and use them to apply to your projects that you're working on, to this one and to the next one we do. Sound good? Yeah, Miss Keller, it sounds awesome. Oh, great, I'm so glad.
Yay, man. Fun.
I'm gonna go run and grab something from the printer, but please open up Word on your computers and title the document Significant Figures, and then we'll get started.
Hi, Katal.
Headphones.
She says hello.
Cool.
Like that, Mrs. Shiner.
Katal's gonna have a baby.
Everyone's pregnant and not sleeping.
I believe everyone's pregnant everywhere.
Yeah.
So, ladies, stop drinking the water.
What am I
Bottled
supposed to
water
have?
only.
That's what my dad always told me.
I don't know, buddy. You gonna talk to her?
Well, he's gonna listen to
He's
this,
gonna listen.
and then while they're working on the other thing, he's gonna finish putting together that thing that you gave him, which I'm not certain what that's supposed to look like. So,
I'm not certain what it's gonna
Oh,
look like.
buddy, don't you?
I think it might be a
all
dinosaur.
right,
What do you think?
we'll figure it out when we're gonna listen to Mrs. Keller first. We're gonna listen to this first. You guys, you can move so you can watch the screen.
Aha!
You can. Hey, Erica, why don't you go ahead and turn that other light off too? I'm gonna guess there's a shine on that for everybody.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah. It's still there,
guys see
so
that
it's
okay?
It's the projector.
Oh, I
How
don't think so.
about
I
now?
think it's a projector.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
It follows me. It's
I think it's this
That's the
one.
projector.
This one.
Mrs.
I
Shiner.
can tell.
That's the projector.
You're just going to see now.
might be. I'm old and senile. That's what you're telling me.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, so significant figures are, there are four things
You
here.
are right in Taylor's
So the
line.
first part of the definition is they are non-zero numbers. So an example would be, in the number 56, there are two significant figures.
God bless you.
It's not a terrible idea to type out what I'm typing and add anything to your notes that might help you remember what we're talking about.
They are actually all doing that. I'm a little surprised.
Oh, sweet. I'm not surprised.
We
You
did
guys
something
are
right.
awesome.
Yeah. She has no faith in us,
I don't. I'm
I just
sorry.
can't see you right now. All I see is my screen. It's very boring. Okay, so what's another example? Go ahead and shout it out.
Fraction.
I didn't hear that.
He said fractions.
Nope.
Wrong side.
Well, we'll get there.
What about integers?
How about just another number?
787.
That's not 780. That's 787. So how many sig figs there?
3.
But
Oh!
Perfect.
Pretty simple so far, right?
Whoa. What if we have negative numbers?
I don't know. 4.
There would be negative 1 sig or negative 1 negative sig.
It doesn't affect it. Same deal.
Dang.
Okay, so that one's easy, right? So now, getting a little harder, but not really. All the numbers in between non-zeros, including zeros.
wait,
Or just, we could actually rephrase that in an easier way. How could we rephrase that so it's not so wordy?
I can do it in 2 words, and it was actually in my math book when I was in
Whole
high
numbers?
school.
We don't have a math book.
Haley, say it louder.
Whole numbers.
Whole numbers?
Well, yeah, we're still dealing with whole numbers.
no.
I can make it a little shorter, but not to 2 words. I can say zeros in between non-zeros.
There you go.
Does anyone have a shorter way to say that?
So like 101?
Sandwich rule. Yes, Taylor.
Oh, seriously. Oh, yes. I feel like an idiot now.
And Taylor threw out an example of 101.
I like it. Thanks, Taylor.
Good job, Taylor.
That
many
is not
sig figs,
at all what
Taylor?
I was thinking.
2. Okay, not 2.
The other gets a biscuit.
Oh, she put question marks up there now.
Maybe 3.
It's 2 because you don't count 0.
Now wait a second. Look what's written on the wall. Significant figures are zeros in between non-zeros.
Maybe 3.
Write down the second.
Are you sure it's 3? Sure it's not 2, because somebody said 2.
It's 3.
I don't get this, but okay.
I think it's
number is 3?
101.
Okay.
What do we get the 3 from?
Okay, so 1, 0, 1. So if you just read the bullet point, zeros in between non-zeros. So she's giving you a number. I was doing a timeline, so I was going like 0 to whatever.
I can't see what she's typing now.
She's literally
Thank
typing
you.
a sandwich number, so 202, 2002. Those are all zeros in between non-zeros. So 1, 0, 1. That is a significant figure. So if you have 1, 0, 1, how many
Do we get the sandwich rule, people?
No, not really.
Because you
If
count
it's
the zero.
in
You count
between-
in between.
Zeros?
See right here?
Count the zero
If
there.
it's a
because
0 and it's in between
non-zeros.
non-zeros,
Oh,
1 and 1 are not zeros, right? And there's a 0 in between, then they are significant figures, because we're talking about things that are significant figures in this whole thing.
Mrs. Keller, taking anything that you say other than very literal will cause confusion, will it not?
Okay.
I mean, because
No smiley faces.
No, that's not what I'm getting at. I wanted to, when you first put that thing up there, because of course my brain works differently. So you put zeros in between non-zeros or whatever it was to begin with. I wanted to do a timeline, like 0 to whatever number are significant digits. I wasn't thinking of a literal number. So when Taylor threw out 101, I was like, no, that's moronic.
That was confusing.
And then Mr. Schneider's like, yeah, that's genius. And I'm like, what? So literally, English-wise, I have to take it literally what's being said. It's a 0 in between two numbers that aren't zeros.
Absolutely true.
So how about zeros in between two non-zero numbers?
Is that better?
Oh, well, I get it now. It just took me a second because I wanted to interpret, not take it literally. You literally have to be literal.
Oh,
And you
That
get
makes
why
sense.
this was called the sandwich roll when I was a kid, right?
Yes.
It's kind of in the middle between two pieces of bread. And now there's two of them in the middle.
Awesome.
I like it. This is why I like that we have discussions in class and that we have multiple teachers in this class because people see things differently. Something that might make sense to me and Mr. Schneider or just to me may not make sense to you guys. So thank you, Mr. Schneider.
A whole bunch of zeros, ending with a non-zero.
How many
Any-
numbers
yeah,
or significant
yeah.
figures, I
Only
should say,
time
are in
two non-zeros,
1001?
then it changes those zeros.
Yes. How about in 1,000,001?
Ah, there we go.
Yay!
That's why it says
9. Where'd you
non-zero.
get a 9?
And
Okay, here's the next one.
is a significant figure.
Okay.
Significant figures are, and so here's a not. Significant figures are not zeros before non-zeros, even in decimals.
All right, not
It's like bros before clothes.
bros
So take a
before
moment to
hoes
process
is what
that.
we're hearing here.
Yes.
Not zeros before non-zeros. Okay, so like, okay, I have an idea in my head.
James Bond.
007.
When I ask a 7-year-old how old they are and they have to write it down, do they write 007?
Yeah.
What do they write?
7.
Stupid they do.
Why?
Because that's what they are.
Why don't we write 007?
Because there's only one significant figure.
So one significant figure there, right?
Sure.
No, wouldn't that be three?
Okay, I have to digest this one.
Are
Not
the 2 zeros out in front?
zeros.
What she typed in the line above?
Yeah. Yeah, she's right.
There's zeros before non-zeros? And
But
they
the-
are not significant?
right, but her rule says not zeros.
But wouldn't there only be,
Yeah,
wouldn't
so
there
you
be
don't
two
count the
zeros there?
zeros.
So what?
They are not.
Right,
and then
because
you
the
go-
top of the document says significant figures are.
They are not zero.
And this entire thing is an are not.
But a not zero before a non-zero to me would be a 2.
What?
2 is a not a 0.
Yeah.
So I want to put 2, 7.
You're
Okay,
not
so
reading very
this is a
literally.
continuation of this sentence. Significant figures are non-zero numbers. Significant figures are zeros in between two non-zero numbers. Significant figures are not zeros before non-zeros.
So,
What's a better way to say that?
Does somebody have better wording?
No.
I understand it.
Give me another example.
Yeah.
But wouldn't,
So how about
wouldn't that be zero, 2 zeros though?
What about
Because there's
0
two zeros
or
in there.
point
So
0?
wouldn't it be 2
Before-
zeros?
Yeah. And then like 7. Oh, just do 7 again. Would that still be 1?
And that's because even in decimals, we don't count those zeros.
Oh,
So while this
I get
might
it.
seem silly, like, yeah, of course we don't write our zeros before, unless we're James Bond, we don't put our numbers before
Oh, James
our
Bond is
digits.
cool.
But when we have decimals, we do this all the time. They just don't count as significant figures.
Alright.
All right, now I get it.
So what makes it a significant figure?
Oh, that's a great question.
That is a good question.
The very first one tells you
No, I think he's asking a deeper question.
everything is not a zero is significant
Why is it called that?
Yeah.
because they're important.
Oh, shut up.
But why
Seriously?
is it
That's too easy.
Significant
Why is
other-
it-
But that's too easy.
But why are they important?
And then, so you're saying
It has to do
that-
with measurement, you guys,
And
and we're
if you're
gonna get
saying-
there when we talk about adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing in
Alright.
just a moment.
Did
Alright,
everybody
cool.
hear what Ms. Keller says?
Yes.
It has to do with measurement, and we're gonna get there.
So numbers
But
are,
if you still don't know the answer to your question, ask it again after we talk about addition, subtraction, multiplication, division.
Awesome.
That's a good thing for everyone to think about as we're going through this. Because why do we care in the end, right? Why do we learn anything? We want this to be important to to other stuff we're learning about. This isn't just number, fun, and rules for the sake of it. It actually has an application, so that's a good question. I'm glad you asked. Okay, let's do one more example here. How about 0.008701?
Oh, cool. Oh, that's tricky, Mrs. Keller.
4.
Can you scoot that up just a little
They
bit?
can handle it though.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it for you guys?
Because
There's
there's four,
sandwich.
there's the sandwich rule and plus there's.
Because I like
three
sandwiches.
I love sandwiches, yes.
Yes.
It's working on it, yeah.
I love sandwiches.
So number 1, sandwiches are delicious. Number 2, the
Yes.
rule we're talking about right now, where we don't count these 3 in the beginning.
Everybody okay with that?
Should we do one more example, or are you guys ready to do our last
Can you
significant
move
rule?
your screen up? It's hard to read for us.
Give us a tough one.
There you go.
There you go, perfect. We have a
How
crack in our
about-
board.
Try to use all the rules here. Well,
Uh-oh.
oh no, we're not there yet. Sorry, I'll do that.
Okay.
Two sandwich rolls.
Right.
5, 6, 7.
Still a sandwich roll.
It's still a sandwich rule.
Still
7.
7.
Yeah, 7.
I think that's as hard as we can get right now.
Well, that wasn't even hard.
Wait,
Until we get one more rule.
Oh my goodness.
Wait,
What?
wow.
Okay.
Where do you get the 7 from?
All right.
No. Oh my God.
Hang on. Okay. Go.
Who asked that? And do you know?
Mason's asking.
Are we good?
These two are significant, everything in between them is significant.
So,
The end.
significant figures.
That's all the harder that is.
And the sandwich rolls, right? So,
That's
all
coming
the
next.
zeros in between those two numbers are significant.
Okay, so we've got
So like
non-significant figures are non-zero numbers, zeros in between 2 non-zero numbers, so the sandwich rule. Significant figures are
Here,
not zeros before non-zeros, even in decimals, but
before.
Boy.
Non-zero.
they are
Now you get the same.
zeros
Awesome.
after decimals.
Just listen. We're going to listen to Mrs. Keller for a minute. She's
I
confusing
want
me.
to say zeros after, sorry guys, even in decimals. How about that?
There's zeros after what?
After a significant figure. Zeros after non-zeros,
Oh,
if
interesting.
you wanna write it that way.
Oh, I know the answer. Huh, I know this.
And yes, Parker, there's always a but, make sure it's not you.
I know this one.
Is it 4?
No. Yeah, it is.
Is it 74?
I'm Jay Haley. Are you guessing?
Alright, here's an easier one.
Read away.
I can't type today.
Oh, no.
Apologies.
8.
164.
8.
I got 8 too.
They still matter.
Alright, here's the hardest one I can think of.
Oh, I think I know.
Is that a comma or a decimal?
Just 5.
5.
Decimal.
4, 3, 2, 1.
What if you have a number in front of the decimal? Does that make the other ones significant if they're in between the 6 point and then 0006?
Like that right there.
That's a good question.
Does that fit your parameters, Brooklyn?
Yeah, so would the 2 zeros before the 3 be significant or not?
Yes, because this is the sandwich rule. Actually, this whole thing is the sandwich rule. And then this is the rule we're talking about right now. So how many is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was a great question.
All right, now the English teacher has a problem.
Okay.
Of course you do.
Well, I'm full of questions. If they're called significant digits because they're important, To me, like your second example there, your 0.0006 second one up from the bottom. If we were to not consider those first 4 digits after the decimal important, wouldn't that change the whole parameters of that measurement?
Yes, it would. So I'd like to amend Mr. Schneider's definition of because they're important to because they're important when we add, subtract, multiply, divide.
Okay.
Mr. Snyder, she's calling you out.
No, just clarifying.
Look at
That was a good question.
Oh god.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
now, we need to take time out, because I have different language. And it may help some of you, and it won't hurt any of you.
I bet it will.
The zeros that were just highlighted there, in front of that 6, what do they actually do? What,
Oh.
Well, I know this one.
do they have? They're placeholders, right? They're showing you where the,
Where there could be a number.
they're showing you where the decimal is. Zeros that show you where the decimal is are significant or are not significant.
Are not, obviously, because we haven't been including them.
Okay, then let's go up one more row, and let's highlight the last 3 zeros.
Those are.
What's the function of those 3 zeros?
Placeholders.
They're showing you where the decimal is. Are they significant?
Yeah.
And I can add to this too, if anybody's feeling really dumb, this is the second time I've seen this and I've looked at the document and I just got it.
Those 3 zeros right there are doing
Haley, I'm
nothing
gonna cry.
except showing you where the decimal goes. Do we know for sure that those numbers were measured, or could they be rounded?
Ooh.
They could be rounded.
Oh, good question.
Could they? I
Those
don't know.
could be rounded, right?
Sure.
They are not significant. That 8 should be a 5.
Oh, that's silly.
Why?
And shouldn't that 4 be a 2?
What?
No.
Stop, you're messing with my
Hang on,
mind.
Hang on, hang on.
Mine
Mr. Keller, would you make one more row below that, please? Go to the end of sig figs. Oh, move it up. Put it below the 56 million. And copy and paste everything you got above it. And put a decimal at the end of the number.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Oh, you can even kill the 34, please.
yeah, but that clarifies it
Now,
for
wait a
me.
second. The bottom one of the 2 that are identical has 8, and the top one has 5.
I'm confused. That does not make sense.
Now I'm confused too.
Well, it doesn't
Great
have
job, Mr. Snyder. You managed.
This
to
one here,
use a math professor.
Heather, can you go on that row you're on and kill the 2 decimal zeros? Just leave the decimal point all by itself.
Now
Okay.
it's 5.
These 2 numbers are identical to you, I would bet,
Yeah.
but they're not to me. This decimal right here tells me that this was measured to here. These zeros, these 3 zeros on the second one, were measured. And they are zeros, or that decimal point would not be there.
These are giving you the point of saying that's
They're
exact.
giving me that decimal, they're telling me it's exactly this, but we don't know what's after the decimal. So they dropped it. Okay? This 0 is not rounded. That makes it significant. The 0 up above doesn't have a decimal, it doesn't have a .34. We don't know for sure if this was rounded off to the nearest 4,000, right? Or if this was measured exactly.
Is this your precise and close thing? Is that what you're getting at there?
This is precision and accuracy
So-
in number reporting in scientific data.
Do you want them to
Yes.
put the, okay, so I've always been told that the decimal is implied at the end of every number.
Yes.
So
it is
can't we just
implied.
imply that?
No, but by implying a decimal, you're telling me that that's where the decimal goes, but you're not telling me that it was measured out that far. It may
Okay.
or may not be rounded, and we don't know.
Right, but it's not 5 significant figures. It's
Yeah.
8.
I agree with Mrs. Singh.
Yeah, me too.
You guys just told me that placeholders are not significant, and those 3 zeros in the second row
Mrs. Keller, fix him.
are not, they're just showing you where the decimal is.
Across the head.
He's confusing me.
Where's the play?
Mr. Schneider has the ultimate say on this
Oh, no.
because
I think
I
he's wrong.
actually did not learn my sig figs very well in high school.
Okay? And I had my chemistry kids do this about 2 weeks ago. And they went out and they found a whole bunch of stuff, and we put it together, just kinda like we're doing right here. And what they found was that any zero
Just a minute,
that
David.
sets the decimal, and that's the wording that they found, is not significant. So those 3 zeros on the second row show you where the decimal is, they are not significant. The 3 zeros in the fourth row, or 4 zeros, show you where the decimal is.
Okay,
They are not significant.
all right, okay, so stop talking for just a second. The rule that she's proffering to us, which I agree with, right? So this comes down to a detail, correct? You're telling them
Yes.
that they need to put the decimal, if the decimal's not there, then you can't assume the decimal's there.
You can't assume that the last number is actually a 0, you have to assume that that 0 was rounded.
So then the one below the 8
Oh.
should be actually like 1 because of the
No,
No, that
when
one.
I ask you how old you are, do you say 14.00000?
Yep.
16.00.
I do.
No, you never do because you didn't measure those. If you have a number like this with a 6 and 4 zeros after it, you have to assume that somebody measured those and they know that those are correct.
Alright, so in
That makes
reality,
them significant.
in reality, can we not assume that every number for the next 48 hours has a decimal at the end?
Can we
No, you cannot.
I want
You
to.
can't assume that the decimal is there. You have to assume that it's rounded. And the only reason that these numbers can be at the end of a decimal, these zeros, is if they are measured. And
All right.
any number that is measured is significant, whether it's a 0 or not.
Oh, right now, Jamin, I just wanna shoot him.
Mr.
Can I
Schneider.
help?
I get it, I
Yes.
just don't.
And,
Mr.
and what's
That's just
underneath
doodle.
Mrs. Keller's pretty face is we assume the numbers are
Well,
rounded.
you know what they say about assuming.
We
Yes.
assume the numbers.
You should always assume that the last number is rounded, unless you're looking at a decimal right here. Then you can assume that that one is not.
Those of you who
Only
are-
time you can assume the last number in
Yeah.
any number, any measurement.
Those of you who are visual learners in here, the difference between those two things is literally the decimals in one. We're assuming the decimals in the other one, but we can't.
Right. And
You
Mrs.
scroll
Keller, when you're
down
done
a
with
little
that
bit,
sentence,
or
can you hit enter
Let's
and
see
give me an
if it's
example of 700?
Wait, Mr. Schneider.
Hang on just a minute, Mason.
Ouch.
You said that 007, the 2 zeros out in front were not important. Those were not significant. And we have an example of 700. We have 2 zeros at the back. Are they significant? Or are they showing you where the decimal is?
So in that instance, how many significant digits do you believe are there, kiddos? Don't answer. Take
think.
10 seconds.
That was 15.
Okay, based upon what he just said, I think I have an answer.
Me too.
00700 has
1.
one significant figure.
And if we were to put a decimal at the end of that,
Be 3.
then it would be 3.
Would
Yes,
it be
it would.
2? Last thing,
These are leading zeros. Leading zeros are never significant. Trailing zeros are only significant if they're sandwiched or if there's a decimal point behind it.
Okay, okay. Can you go below that one and put like 0.92 at the end of 00700.92?
Did you not put those dots there for a reason? Yeah, I should show you what she's talking about. Like, oh,
I know, hang on just a minute.
Like
Hang on
this?
just a minute. Yep, that, there
Yep,
you go.
like that.
Perfect. Okay.
Think first.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is a no-brainer now. Okay, I get this
Yep.
part. Okay.
Does everybody agree that's a no-brainer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have no
Do you agree the
idea.
answer is 4?
It's a sandwich.
5.
What did the 902
Alright.
count?
The 9
You
two
are
count
paying
because it's
attention.
part of the sandwich.
Trickery.
70092.
Attempted trickery. It was offensive.
So, 2 is in the front doesn't count, but after that, they all count.
Correct. Hang out and suggest from first
You have to assume
00700 and then the second 00700.
You can assume that the last one was measured or it wouldn't be there. If it's a decimal, they're gonna drop
That
anything that's
is a
rounded and they're
significant
gonna
digit.
leave.
So like if there's no other like number at the back of it and just in the front, it just doesn't count.
So like
Zeros in the front, you're stupid. Throw them out. Yeah.
And in the back.
We work on a penguin thing.
Unless there's a decimal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we should look at what
Mrs. Keller, do you have more rules?
Because I was like,
No, I
got
just
it.
wanted to talk about
But then
addition,
Mr.
subtraction,
Schneider-
multiplication,
Oh, yes,
division.
that's right. So, time out.
All right.
Hang on.
Should we do that tomorrow instead? Or I mean, next week?
We could let this sink in and we could come back to the.
Don't
what happens in the
disconnect
next
your
period.
phone.
It's fine, fine.
Wait.
So if there's a decimal in the beginning, the zeros count at the end, but if there's nothing.
No, it's, no,
700 is what?
no, listen to what she said to you, you're saying something wrong.
0.700. That's 3.
That's 3, but then if there's no decimal on the front of it and there's zeros in the back, it doesn't count.
Like 700, because there's no decimal in front.
I just gotta
Zeros in the back.
remember that. Oh, no.
Mr. Schneider,
Anybody that is still even a little bit confused should go out the web and find a list of rules, and you'll get different wording than what we use. You'll get different examples than what we use. You should save them and bring them back, because we're going to have this discussion again.
Mr. Schneider, can't we just put you on?
No, because right now, if we stop, you have an hour, and that's what we told you would have. Okay?
Mr. Schneider.
So, clear up whatever's questionable in your head,
I love it when I finally get it.
do some research on your time, and bring some information back to have another discussion.
Alright, here goes
I got it.
That's why you have no, because there's
Keller,
about 5
this really
kids out
does
there
get
that
back to
didn't get
fourth
what
grade
she
when we
said.
learn
They
to
did
do
get it when I
addition
said
and
it.
subtraction.
And when I said it's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
I just used different.
Absolutely it does.
Why don't we learn this then?
So I'm just looking at it from over here.
That's a good
and you're looking
question.
at
I
it from
think,
over there, and
um,
it's the same thing.
Concepts of rounding and estimation aren't completely solidified in our brains in 4th grade.
That's the whole argument for having more than one teacher.
So we wait and redo it in high school when we do
That's
more
just silly.
complex measurement in science.
That is just silly. Alright,
I agree.
let's do your plan first.
Do you want to put it in?
I'm almost done with it. I just need,
PowerPoint?
Erica.
You can make
just need
a PowerPoint
right,
as big as you get.
You guys, may I stop sharing my screen now?
Yes,
Or
Mrs.
Are
Keller?
people still taking notes?
Nope, you can do it.
It was like 54 inches by 48 inches, it was all one PowerPoint slide. And I know where to find a program on the internet that will print on like 6 pages, and then you can take them together.
Jamin, I'll be right there.
I did.
Go change your paper.
We got an hour left there, hey Bob.
Oh my god. Page layout.
Flattering.
And more paper sizes, and I think there's a custom.
Remember color that? No?
I wouldn't go there, I just screw with the numbers.
Alright, I don't know.
Make it.
24 by 48 or
How
whatever.
big would be like,
Mrs. Keller, great job.
how big is that?
Thank you for your help, both of you guys,
Table of elements.
in class.
How do
I don't think it's that big. How big is that though?
Oh, I don't know. Go grab a meter stick, find out.
Mr. Schneider,
Just do 48 by 36.
well, how big is that?
54 by 48, I think, will work. 60 is 5 feet. 48 is 4 feet.
Now you go to the bathroom.
So 56.
Yeah. It's bronze on it.
56 by 48.
Anybody need to bounce ideas off Mrs. Keller?
I tried one of those online sites.
Mrs. Schneider made you use a couple of those?
Whoa, boy.
But what I'm seeing people do.
Yes,
What?
I forgot to get an infographic. Well,
The infographic website?
Picture chart, yeah.
Picto chart.
Just pretty sure I had that one open, but I never
P-I-C-T-O.
heard the idea.
But there's a lot of them, there's a lot of different ones that you use.
It's PIK.
P-I-K.
PIK.
See, I got on that one.
Remember, an infographic is
Okay.
a snapshot,
And then
it's
go-
not a multiple snapshot. It's just one.
Substitute.
A lot of
And then
That's why you should
other
design
things that
before
are
you
going
go.
This is like gonna take me an hour to do.
No. In fact, I think Prezi's better than PowerPoint.
no.
One of them should work.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect one.
And then you're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm almost done.
Well, I'm done. It looks kind of half
Just one big plate of.
While you're still goofing around and haven't got deep into your assignment yet, on the whiteboard, it says cadaver lab at SDSU.
Dead people.
How many of you would like to go see dead people?
No!
I wanna go see that.
I'm
Dave
ready.
Lowry.
No! God, no!
Time out. Time out.
I've seen enough of those.
I've been there several times with kids.
Let's put it in a different location.
Professor Ellis does not want people that are just going to screw around. He gets way bent out of shape, and armor will not be allowed back. If I think you're going to be screwing around, I'm not taking you. Okay? If you are interested in a medical career, whether it's LPN at the nursing home, or if you want to be a neurosurgeon,
Water in the tub.
it doesn't
It's right
matter.
there, right?
If it's something in medicine and you would like to go, that's one thing. We'll take you. Second thing, going with the advanced bio class. Third thing, going to SDSU. It ain't next door. You're going to be getting up early.
Green.
You're going to be getting back supper time, maybe even a little bit after supper time.
Can we talk to our parents first?
Probably going to be track season. You should probably talk to your parents. We're taking you off campus. We're putting you in a car and running you down the interstate.
Oh no.
Okay?
What day do you know?
And we're going to see dead people.
No.
It's the best anatomy lesson you will ever have.
Well, yeah.
I promise you. Even if you go to college and you take college anatomy,
It hasn't grown
this
up,
one
it's grown, hasn't
will be the best one you ever had
it? You don't-
because it's your first. It's an introduction and it's a very, very good one. Professor Ellis does a great job with this. Otherwise, I would take you to USD, which is closer.
Yeah.
I know.
Far away is
Let's
it?
not go
There's
there.
that too,
Can
but
we not go there? Can we just go to SBSU?
there's
That's
that too,
dead,
but
right?
Professor Ellis does a terrific job with this.
And that one's dead.
So, you need to be thinking about that. I need you to raise your hand if you think you're interested. That doesn't mean you have to go. 1, 2, 3.
Just raise your
four,
hand, Trevor. You
5.
want
Cadaver lab.
SDSU,
Dead
dead people.
Really
2,
the sick- you gotta be
4,
serious the
6,
whole time.
7. Okay, that's what I need.
That's why.
See, you've got that one right there. It's going
And
That's
then
what I
it's
need.
gonna be
Don't write
rain.
substitute.
Waking
I
up
suck it
early.
out.
What is this?
We last time we went, we got to hold a human brain, got to hold a human heart.
I would get
Disgusting.
Why are they raising their hands?
There's
There's a
been
cadaver
people
lab
that,
at South
that
State
didn't think they
University.
could do it that did it.
It's
And
not
there's
because
people
it's
that
like-
thought it was, oh, I'm too cool for this and it's not going to be a problem, that actually went and sat down because they were about to pass out.
It's not because I would like pass out because it's like a human body.
I'm gonna check Mr. Schneider about that.
It's like
I'm not
someone's
certain.
whole life is sitting right there.
Done.
That would
Done with
be
this
freak out.
conversation.
No, I'm not gonna ask
Stop
him.
talking about it.
Said the kid whose father does what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cuts people open and drains out their fluids.
All right.
No, it's
Schneider.
As you are.
Any ones that.
You can do it in PowerPoint. Make one big PowerPoint slide.
You guys, the joy of PowerPoint is you can make that slide as large as you want it to be. But here's the deal with that. When you go work in Pick2Chart, which is a pre-formatted type program, you can do your own layout in there. You don't have to use those templates.
Yeah, so I created my own.
Yeah.
I use a template 'cause it looks
Just a
cool.
minute. You, write your stuff.
Don't get any fatter, his legs won't reach.
I wonder if you could use
Do you have a single
let me
double
see.
battery?
I do not. I used to and I stuck it in my mouse.
Not even cute. That is ugly.
Find a wiener dog.
How do we change the size? I have one. I
You have a dog?
have a miniature dog. Ooh.
It's a wiener dog.
A wiener dog? Miniature dog?
Yeah, Ty, I really like you.
Seabiscuit?
Seabiscuit? Oh yeah? Well, I have a German wired hair corner.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I have a German Shepherd Corgi.
I have nothing.
I don't have
Can you listen to music?
The date's not set
And where can you?
How do you spell that?
Actually, my brother has a.
Show it to
yet. And I got the
These dogs are always fat.
I have straight.
No, turbo.
But then also.
Alright.
Yeah, young people, remember this has to be done today.
Almost done, Mr.
I have
Schneider.
to carry my bags down to my car.
Whatever.
I can do that.
If I don't do
It's
it
all
today,
around.
I'll never do
Okay.
it.
I'll do that.
What is going on with my
I'll even
computer?
run down those steps.
I had
Not a good idea.
That's
That's a whole bunch of nothing.
I just probably get to work.
I was supposed to come up with our own names, our own names.
Only if it changes enough that it needs a new name. What is the definition of it changed enough, it needs a new name?
Okay, so like, it's
There's,
gonna
like,
still be a
rules,
bird, so it'll still be Aves, so I'm thinking,
Right?
but then when it gets, it'll still be a penguin, obviously, I'm not changing the whole entire.
What would it be?
What makes it a penguin?
So it'd probably be like, family.
This is a real savage.
What makes it a penguin?
His phone just went.
I know. What makes a penguin a penguin?
Do you not realize it's on an arm?
So it won't be like a penguin?
How different would it have to be before it wasn't a penguin anymore? It's science, you know there's rules, right?
There's rules in science?
Yes.
Who would've guessed? That's not fair.
Go find the rules and figure out if you've gone too far and it needs a different name and it's no longer a penguin, or if it's still a penguin.
Okay, taxonomy. I got a small issue. I cannot type it.
Do we have to have,
Yeah, put it in a text box, which means you have to go to insert.
Shape your boots. Ground,
You really want to tell?
I didn't know that.
Kind
Yo.
of, because
So you're just doing that for the background?
no, I need
Okay.
it so that I can do this.
Okay, awesome. You might be better off doing this in Excel and dropping it back over.
Okay.
That's probably not healthy.
Open up Excel, start typing,
okay, so
and then copy, paste, and it'll come in as a table, and then you can make it look however you want,
Got it.
I think. And you might wanna just try some junk, maybe not even do
What are you doing?
X's and Y's and
It's not
B's and
working.
C's.
It's annoying me.
Copy paste and slap it over there and see if you can fart around if you can do the yellow white thing that you were just doing
I
or
charge it.
whatever. and-
Like that?
Yeah,
The computer comes with
Nope.
a mouse,
copy.
which is stupid.
Mary will do
They
it.
should not have those.
Just give me a second, okay?
Just use it instead of freaking out looking at it.
Stop.
Yeah, your stuff came over, didn't it?
I'm trying to look up
But it's just-
Wolverine and I keep on finding.
Okay, so,
Gotta go to 200.
here's what we know. You wanna go back here.
Yes.
And you wanna print
That
that
long
up to
here,
about
I
20 point
automatically
type.
assumed it was yours.
Sure. Now copy and paste.
I hope it's super big.
Oh, that ends with
Now, get out of there and just paste, yeah. And now. Your view is at
Done.
10%.
Because it can jump 10 feet straight up.
Good? Okay.
And 20.
That's how you're gonna wanna do that. And then you can, did you get extra rows in between there, or are they just really tall rows? They're just really tall rows, okay. Then you can go through and reformat, you can shorten them, and,
Can I
You
reformat
don't-
in here or not?
yes, but you don't wanna stretch like you just did.
Yeah,
And that's what caused that to happen. You just wanna change your view. And then you can go to design and layout, and you can do the colors and the sizes, and how tall the columns or the rows are, and how fat the columns are, and all that kind of fun
Mr.
stuff.
Schneider, do you want us to turn this into a moto?
Did you take notes? Did you write about the water? Did you write about the dirt? What'd you say about the dirt? Is the dirt really dry or is it wet? Oh, and did you get that read? No? Maybe Taylor could help you read that. He's just goofing around anyway.
No, I was thinking about it.
Mr. Schneider, when we're done, do you want us to turn this into a moto?
Yeah, but you got 45 minutes of work time. Have you shared with somebody and got feedback and modified?
No.
Really good question. Yeah, do
I
that.
say it's good.
I don't know if Mary will like that.
I'm blaming you.
Sources
What about
on a different document?
They need to cite them on the picture chart or the infograph that they do.
So they're gonna be like small in a corner or all along the bottom or something.
They have to cite them in text as well as, yes,
It has to be on the info.
correct.
Does that paragraph explaining it?
I had to do that when I had to do my scientific
Do you
poster.
have to explain it too?
Should've let us know
The
this
explanation
yesterday.
comes
I
from the
had-
chart.
Okay, so I win.
You should just
So I had 1
know
through
and,
11 inside my
No, these are
text.
last
But
ones.
warmer,
you
isn't
didn't have to
Mr.
cite it.
Snyder.
At the bottom, they were there.
Yes, and now you do.
You should just assume.
Stepping things up a little bit, people.
I don't know if it's gonna be.
Just go all the way around.
Okay. How big is your plant? We need to have a ruler, Jamin. Go get a ruler for me. Let's measure this little puppy here.
Just imagine what you were like on your first day in this classroom. And look where you're at now.
Brooklyn? Interesting.
Come a ways.
There you go. We could do a, is there one on her desk, kiddo? A ruler. Jamin, it doesn't matter. Your little thingy isn't attached.
Ta-da.
SDSU is better, right, Jamie?
Yeah, Jamin, I like your shirt.
Mr. Snyder, I have a question.
Okay.
He had an SCSU shirt.
What?
I know.
So,
To me,
Whose birthday?
the white tiger,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
This is
Small
Kobe's
bag?
birthday.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
What'd you get her for her birthday?
Mint.
Because.
Mint?
Their habitat.
You know what? It wasn't attached. It didn't grow into the ground.
So the big ones are gonna die off.
I don't know why. That's a good question. Why do you think it didn't grow into the ground? I don't know, there's no root. All right, so
Oh,
That's what I think.
okay.
But, other than that.
this is now what we need to see, right? You've got,
Because they have
you have some mold
everything
growing.
that they need, but they're just
Mhm.
getting smaller.
But if they
You
get
see the green
smaller,
stuff? It's green fuzzy stuff down at the bottom. See that?
they're gonna
Yeah.
change.
So put down mold
They're
growing.
not just gonna miniature.
M-O-L-D.
Is their body gonna get shorter, but their legs stay the same, so that they can still run as fast? Because if their legs get shorter, they're not gonna run as fast.
growing.
Is their prey gonna change? So even if their whole body is smaller, does their mouth have to stay as big, so they can open up wide enough to get on the neck of their prey or whatever?
That's
Does their
it.
teeth get longer?
Now we
Can
have to
their
see
mouth
if
open
anything
far enough
develops
to
from
actually
it.
bite
I'm
their
really
prey, or
curious
is
why
it
your
gonna be
water
like,
turned
"Oh,
a
I can't
different
bite
color.
it"?
So, all right, we're gonna put this up on the shelf. You can go put
There-
that
There's
away.
those kind of things that you can think about, and you're not gonna find a picture of a.
No, now we're gonna work on
super
this.
short body
Yeah.
and really long
So you
legs
can go put
and
that
a
away.
big giant mouth and a little tiny head. So you might have to write about it and explain
All right.
why those changes occur.
That's what I heard.
Oops,
And I just
dropped
won
that.
it.
And then if you
Put
really
that
wanted
there.
to, you could get into
Oh, is it in the wrong spot?
some kind of a
You can
picture
move it where you think
altering
you want it, kiddo.
program and
Yeah.
try to,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it'll
Huh?
work or not. It might be just a
You can
technical
lift it,
type.
yeah.
But if you're bored and you want something to goof around with later,
Just Google cat, I got right.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
GIMP would be a perfect tool for that, but we don't have GIMP anymore.
Mr. Schneider,
Yo,
look at what
Yo.
I'm looking at.
Huh?
What's wrong with that?
Well, it will work, but.
There we go.
Did you check on the border of that? It kinda looks like you
There,
did.
that works. All right.
The actual right on, perfect. Okay, and then go to format,
Oh, I wish it could.
and then there's your fills and outlines and.
Does anybody need to bounce some ideas off Mrs. Keller?
Mr. Snyder, can I?
Yes.
We need more time.
Remember, you had all that time.
No,
I
it's-
worked on it
had
outside
multiple-
of class.
Mr.
You
Snyder.
should be able to highlight that.
Oh, there's boxes inside.
Yes, there's boxes inside.
So,
You should be able to
Okay,
highlight
David, I
those
don't wanna dance
boxes
today.
and then do a outline as well.
They're getting here tomorrow.
okay, so it says, listed,
Right.
that.
So you have to give scientific reason as to how the changes occur.
I know she's gonna.
Things don't just happen. I wish they did, but we're not in Harry Potter world.
In that drawer on the bottom? Yeah. Just open it up, put it in the drawer.
plugged in?
to
The
there.
account?
And make it what you want. If you want it all to have borders, these are all borders.
Can you-
want it to be super fat on the top,
Can you see her screen?
skinny down on the bottom, whatever. Do all that,
Close?
take it over.
On that one.
Think
Your
it's okay.
screen?
But you should try something and take it over just to find out. Before you spend a ton of
She's
time.
doing the significant digits, she's doing
Oh,
a scientific
yeah.
notation to do the years.
That's what you said, all
No,
the numbers.
Brooklyn, you didn't do anything wrong!
So what is this?
Alright,
Okay, so let's put that on top.
you need some help?
What goes underneath the head?
She's your math person.
Yeah,
Can you
I
hear
bet
us,
it
Mrs.
does.
Keller?
I can.
Oh,
and I
perfect.
forgot that I
You
was
have
on
ribs,
mute.
right?
Perfect.
Do they point up
What is going on?
or do they point down?
So Riley, how's it going?
Breakfast.
That is hilarious.
I don't know
just
which
never
way to
thought
do
about
that.
doing it for years.
Like that?
No,
Okay.
you read the directions.
And what about this?
Right,
No.
right, I just never thought about that.
So the
As being done
assignment
significant
was
Oh, and what about these?
all the changes in this animal that have occurred
Well,
over time,
on here,
factors that led
like
to
I
the
want
change,
to, like the line.
habitat.
Does that look right?
um,
Where's these little skinny ones?
numerical data. Okay,
Are they right here? Or are they right there?
numerical data can express the years.
Where am I skinny? Am I
It can
skinny
express
here? Am I
measurements
skinny here?
of how certain things have increased or decreased
how to make
in your animal's features.
Maybe.
It's not letting me.
We
It
might
can
need to
express
do that.
population of that animal.
What have you tried?
I'm gonna put it right there.
Okay, so I want these lines to show.
How's that?
Right.
Here, and not all of my.
But
Okay,
that's a
now
copy and paste, correct?
Okay.
Okay, now listen to what I've just
Does
said
that
to you.
make sense? It's
I
like
can rarely
data,
get
like
that to
numerical
work.
data
What's
that
this?
you
Copy
have.
and
What are
paste,
those
and
things?
end up
Talking about the
recreating it
changes.
in the
Maybe I should
PowerPoint
have
project.
put that
Oh yeah, I
in our
tried to do that on.
Where's that go?
Make a
presentation.
table or
Right.
whatever on here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That like. didn't work.
Why?
So
Teeth
what
on the
animal?
We've got
outside?
stuff highlighted, so
I'm
let's,
doing
it's
the
gonna try and, there you
retail
go.
talk.
Excellent.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
what is it turned into?
Well,
If I make this big,
I didn't really have
And I
it turned
can't
into
share this.
There you
kind of just
go. That looks pretty good.
the whole world
Okay.
kind of like froze
So what
over,
happens?
except for like large
If you write
bodies of
that
water.
What do you think that is?
Still in the room.
What are your options then?
Go way down there?
Adapted to
I don't know how big he is. Maybe it goes here, maybe it goes way down there. I don't know. Is there another one?
like more
So what happens?
Yep, got 2 feet.
Goes to the water and grab the fish because all the
Okay, go
Hmm.
to.
smaller animals that he would have been
How
eating.
about this thing? That almost looks the same, doesn't it? What is that?
Go to.
Okay, that's awesome. So what numerical data can we use to describe the increase in the thickness of the feathers? Or the sickness of the feathers?
And your text box. And now try to type in your chart.
Have you had your Mountain Dew yet today?
What do you think those big things are?
Oh,
yeah, I can do
I'm
that.
sorry.
Do you know what you're doing?
I don't know how to make like the graph itself.
What do you mean by that? The infographic?
So,
Well, that's a lot of different ways you could go about doing that. There's no right or wrong way to do it, there's no one way.
So that would be a really good
A lot of
research
these guys
component
even pick two
that will
charts.
give you
Those
those
are-
points
those are
for
wings?
applying the real
Or
scientific
maybe they're
knowledge.
legs.
I would look up online research,
PowerPoint, and you
how,
can find templates within it.
What do you think?
thickness of feathers.
Do legs get really skinny at the end?
Like what does that mean for a
Do
feather to
wings
be
get really
thicker?
skinny at
Or
the
to
end?
be like earlier and to be able to keep
Hmm.
the creature warm.
that's what I mean.
Let me make sure it's there.
Change the
Yeah?
feathers
What you're doing?
themselves. Is it
Yeah,
the
maybe.
feathers that are on the animal?
Maybe.
So I'm writing my.
Let's go see if we can find legs.
A little bit more.
If these are not the legs, then the legs gotta be over there, right? Is there legs over there? Oh, there you go. I'll bet that is, cause that's a fat bone, isn't it? That's gotta be strong to
All
hold them up.
information goes on there, there won't be two documents.
Oh, how many bones is there?
No.
Is that
you
one
have to
bone or two
include all
bones?
that information there.
How many bones are right
What
here?
makes you think that there's a paragraph?
How many bones are right
I
here?
can't do that, my eyes are.
Everybody else did.
He told you to put a
No.
paragraph.
Hang on.
Yeah, he did.
Here's a
Yeah, he
skeleton.
did.
Hang on a minute, stop talking.
What?
Mr. Schneider,
Yeah.
you told all these guys to write a separate paragraph explaining?
No, not separate.
It should be within the infographic. Yes.
So, can I just copy and paste?
What do you think?
Probably, yeah.
Probably
Oh,
not.
there it
because I'm
is.
gonna guess that's too much
Ooh, I found a
information.
good website, everything you need to know about
What is
feathers.
that?
Do you want me to send it to you?
I'll make it work.
What is your email?
RH.
It's almost like it's a kingdom within a subkingdom.
You think you got it all?
No, I'm.
Okay.
Now I need to go back.
Have you ever heard of an infra kingdom?
That's like
That would be a kingdom within a kingdom?
Within a
A subdivision of a sub-kingdom? Wow.
Oh, it's a dinosaur. Oh, cool, cool,
Okay,
cool.
so we're talking about legs.
Oh, the big
We
one.
got one bone at the top, and we got 2 bones at the bottom.
And how many bones, how many different
Do you
leg
think a
bones?
dinosaur would be the same?
At k12.sd.us.
Is this 1 bone or 2 bones? Hey, look at, yeah, see that line in the middle? That's 2. These are both 2. Is there something that only has 1 bone? Just kind of long, like a leg? Oh yeah, that might work. Is there another one of those?
Looks like Japan.
Bam, look at, I made it work.
Okay, and then we can put these on
Made
the
it work.
end.
Schneider. Paige.
And now feet.
Oh my goodness,
I think I want
what are you talking
And then we gotta figure out what these are.
new one.
Well, that's up to you, that's your
Oh, they have an evolution of feathers on this website. Perfect.
You don't know how to do that?
You think?
You're asking me how you should do it. Yes.
Oh, on the end of there? This to turn? And put that on there.
Still pretty good.
And then we gotta figure out these things.
Actually, yeah, I guess mine is.
They're like human-like.
So that's the article on that page, actually. That's like an article from the Bird Academy. And so if you scroll down, it starts, it gives you an introduction, and then you go to the next page and it talks about feather structure, feather types. So this would be awesome information to include in your timeline, like what happens to the
2,
feathers, what happens to the
feet.
barbs, like all the different parts, the bristles, the downs, like maybe they have more down.
I'm not sure where those are supposed to go.
Does that make
Sure where
sense?
they go.
Where your notes from?
And then the calculations could be like, yeah, how many
You know
barbs,
what?
Schneider.
how many bristles are in your, in a regular red-tailed hawk feather versus.
We should do some research.
And the badass, I mean, the way better.
If we're gonna look for
I don't think it is.
some bone,
Badass is bad. I say
what do we think this is?
maybe I shouldn't say this in teacher, but whatever. So,
Okay,
definitely check out this page.
so let me see if I'm connected to the internet.
That's about all I can say.
Dinosaur. Then we should look at pictures.
I bought a coffee cup.
I don't know when the last time was I went to a meeting without coffee.
I bought a coffee cup this weekend, it's larger than my coffee.
That's what you said.
Do we have one like that? I don't think that's the right kind of dinosaur.
You putting together a dinosaur?
Do we have one like that? Look at his legs. Big giant legs. Look at his arms.
So I think I'm gonna have to like
Yeah.
show that
Maybe we can just have a link to it.
Long neck?
Maybe I'm just gonna put.
Does that look okay or does that look crazy? I think it's okay. You think it's okay? Okay. Little hands, big feet. Little hands, big feet.
Body and streamlining its shape. So these will, there will be more of these in the new routine. As it evolves, it's gonna evolve more contour feathers to cover more of the bird's body, keep them more. I'm telling you too much, you should be, these should be your words, I'm sorry, I'm excited for you. This is a good website. Makes it easy.
Let's see if we can find a better picture of hands. That looks like those, but it doesn't tell us where to put them.
Does it have new predators? Does it need to hide from something else
That's
that
such a
involves.
good name, but I can't take it. Like, for like, making up the prey of my animal, you
It's
know?
up to you. I
I'm
mean,
just
it's
gonna
sort
get
of
it.
Yeah, I thought about it, I could try to find something, but right now.
I mean, I could, that'd be awesome, but I can't take that,
No.
even though it's a really good one.
no worries. Yeah, start with the red nose, red tailed hawk, and then if you have time.
I wonder if our dinosaur has a tail or if he doesn't. There's one with a really long neck.
I know, but you can't do it.
Parker, imagine a
Let's see if we can find one that
6 foot,
flies.
but it's 10 foot long.
I think we have a dinosaur.
That'd be huge. Gets right up into his back.
Hands are smaller than the feet.
I'm just gonna get
Copy and paste it.
I'm published.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get a link.
Hands.
Not like with those.
Well, I was like, what do you mean?
Where do you think that goes?
We send you a link.
It's gonna be buddies. But
Yeah.
more deer.
You wanna do that with these?
There's like, you send you.
Yeah, I made it right.
Yeah, you can center it. I did, but.
Maybe.
So first it
Well, I was
starts
just gonna
out.
see.
Having the middle.
Let's keep looking, see if we can find a bird dinosaur.
Wow.
And the way that I did that was
One of them.
Like, what is
So
Obvious.
so I called it the rad.
That's not working. Maybe I need to search. Maybe I need different words.
There you go. Boom.
So what's it look like? I like that.
You feel like my clothesline?
I do like your clothesline for the end result.
Does it make
Oh,
sense to you?
so I just put this.
Basically,
What kind of pictures do you have right
but
now?
I haven't
No.
started that.
Because you're in a chart that I won't be able to have access to. Here's the problem with this. Do you have an account? Awesome. There's a way to get a PDF file uploaded.
It doesn't.
You have to buy.
Yeah, you have to buy it.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, you really don't.
That's what it said.
No, you really don't.
I'll prove it to you.
I,
Watch.
no,
Yeah,
I know.
See?
You're going through one way.
How many leg bones?
So now what are you gonna do?
2,
I won't be able to.
1,
You've published it.
2,
What do you mean by that?
I hit the publish
3.
button.
Yeah, no, that won't work.
Okay, then I'll publish.
Let's do this.
Okay, so what happens when you go to download?
1, 2, goes that way.
I loved them as a kid, but it can never happen.
3, goes this way.
Okay,
And
good.
then 5.
Then what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and then a foot.
After I knew I broke about 2, I was like, yep, no more for me.
I think that
I know
helped.
what it's called.
Those are 1, 2, 3. And it has a little hand on the end. Little hand on the end.
Oh, I found another page for you I'm sending you that just gives measurements that you can use.
Yes, you just go right there, where the neck starts, right? And then this is called the breastbone. Do we have one of those? No, not really.
It's so helpful.
Look at those ribs though. Big and wide,
Sometimes I
and
don't feel
then
very
narrow.
helpful, but I think I'm being
I
helpful.
think this might be
Yes,
upside
you
down.
are being helpful.
Excellent.
We might have to go that way. And then where the legs attached, pelvis. Legs are attached.
Come on, you can do it.
That goes on the end of there. Now we still have one silly bone left over. Is there one more in here? Bones are usually in pairs.
Turn the assignment down. Okay, so now go back there and get rid of that screen. Is there another way to get this done?
Maybe.
Okay. Sure. Try.
That one doesn't have a very long tail.
Why not? To go to slideshow. Any other ways?
There's a lot of different
So
kinds of
try
dinosaur
something.
birds.
I don't want to
What is it published?
That one has a really long tail.
Regulate speed.
Like, if you're gonna read it, make sure it don't anybody.
Right? You put it on public, right? So it doesn't do any good, right? No. No?
This bird isn't,
So you still can't look.
these things are turned sideways,
So now
and
what?
this is not.
This is not going to
So
be
it's like
amazing.
his feet are over
Because
there,
one thing didn't
but
work,
his chest
you're
is this
willing
way.
to put a wall up and stop.
That
But
way.
once you try to do things and figure out the
That's
best
kinda
way.
crazy.
Cause you know there's lots and lots and lots of different ways to get things saved to a PDF as well.
Oh,
No,
Yeah, you don't think so?
I forgot.
It's a control P deal.
those two
Give
bones,
it a shot.
one of them is
Give it a
this one.
shot.
Oh my god.
What's that
Just a
for?
bunch of stupid
And
stuff like
that's what makes the bird's belly. It has to have a bone down there for the big, because their chest comes way out, right? And then their belly's attached, and that's what their belly's attached to, is that big bone right there.
Am I done with?
And in some birds, they're way far apart, and in some birds, they're way together. And if they're way together, they can be connected into one bone after a long
I
time.
know, next
See,
week you're
this-
going to be evaluating these.
Yeah.
I
And
need
then we're
something
moving on
really
to the
clean.
next step, which is the stuff you get from the back.
But on
Listen,
the.
I know, I'm trying to answer your question.
This
Yes,
bird,
I mean, you've got
if
that
it had
turned
skin
down.
and muscles and stuff,
Yes.
his belly would come way down
Gotta
there.
have that.
And that would make him look like he has a big giant body. But really, there's no bones in the middle, it's all guts and stuff. So those bones, I think that extra bone is one of these that helps make the bottom side of the belly. It holds on to it,
Oh, you think? Kinda looks like a,
I think.
I'm halfway done, and I think I'm.
It's a bird dinosaur with
Sure
a short
is.
tail. If I go over here, we can show Mrs. Schrader a bird dinosaur with a short tail.
Yeah.
oh, interesting.
Make
So
it
you
look
don't think
kinda
that's the
like
tail?
This is right.
that. Just like,
Oh, what would you call like, what's the word for like, rainforest area, like,
tropical?
describe it? No,
Brooklyn, go look at that.
I don't have to look at because Google doesn't understand my words.
They're biomes, right? Go figure out what the different biomes are.
Here's another one with a really short tail.
Ooh, I found its kingdom,
And that's why we did the
phylum,
leg
class,
like
order,
this.
family.
So what do you think? See, there's that extra thing that holds on to the
That's
belly.
the taxonomy that you'll need.
We're gonna go this way.
Like you'll need it for the original, and then you'll need
And
to
in this
change
one,
it a
they're
little
really
bit because
skinny
when
and they
it
go that
evolves
way,
into
and this
the
one, they're
native
really
species,
long
it
and they go
changes.
down there.
And so you'll need to decide how
That's
much it's
fine
gonna
with me,
evolve, if you're
Jamie.
gonna change the genus and the family as well, or even the order, or if it's going to just be a different species. Does that make sense?
Oh, this one?
What if I don't finish these
That one?
today?
You guys, remember, we told you you had an hour, they had to be turned in today.
Yeah, I know, but
You
like,
should have planned accordingly outside of class.
Alright.
I got mine. Somehow. I don't know.
Okay,
Gee willikers.
I think
Mine's
so.
close enough. but
That's a part of the pelvis.
Hunter?
We have hip bones, and birds have hip bones too, but they also have these other things. Because their belly comes way out here, because their chest comes way out here. And they have to have a bone to hold on to that, otherwise it won't stay there.
You've
See,
been
this
stripped
one
of
has
everything
these
you
bones
own.
down there.
Last year he was dressed, smoking a cigarette.
That was fun.
no, yeah, I remember that. What are you talking about?
Does that look like what we got? Look at those arms. They go way long like
Oh, well, now we
these.
get to figure out where that other, that is what you have, isn't it? Pretty close
I
anyway.
think this is like that
You
one.
want to take more from?
So the arms, and you go like that.
That would mean that we're missing a
And I
piece.
think maybe we lost one.
What if we want to play shoes and Muslims can't?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that goes in there. That makes sense. And that would go down, and this would go up a little bit.
Also, James and I thought about
And then I think we're missing one for this side. It maybe got thrown away.
I see that.
I think we're good now.
I see that we figured out that it's part of it. What do you imagine? Do you see the little triangle things up on top over through here? It goes, I know, Jamin, I'm asking you a different question. See what he's pointing at right there? What do you suppose that's for? Hmm? Yeah. Do you suppose that's like held some sort of a, like, have you ever seen a bat? They've got that cape, for lack of a better term, I can't think of
It holds on to
that mesh stuff, right?
the skin that makes their wing, that makes it really
Right.
light, so they spread out.
Makes
Instead
me
of
wonder
being
if
one
that's what
skinny
that
little
is.
thing, they have a big fat wing. I think that might be what holds on to some of that, or maybe it's for fighting. Maybe it's a, cut you, stab you. Who knows?
I want you to take a picture of that with your phone. What? Because I asked you to. Do you want me to take a picture with my phone?
Got a little over 15 minutes of
Do you have your
class
phone?
left.
Yeah, I'm not good.
And those of you who are using Pick2Chart, you have to figure out how to get that published because you can't just copy the link and send it to us. That doesn't work.
Do we have to do something specific to upload our PowerPoint into Edmodo?
No?
Okay.
Should be easy, right?
Correct.
Gail Volk's birthday tomorrow.
Nice. Huh? Take a picture. You want me to? No, you take the picture. You're the shutterbug, kiddo. Can you get it all in there?
Back here.
I'd have to, there you go, step back a little bit.
You got all the information you need about the changes that happened and why they happened? Right here. And there's scientific
Proof.
reality involved in that?
And
Cool.
taxonomic charts,
I got one. I'm okay with that.
it's in the list.
Yeah.
Oh, I should probably do that.
Driving me nuts over here.
There you go.
About the evolution of
Just keep
feathers?
that on your phone for a little while, kiddo.
Yeah, there you go.
Put these back in there.
Feathers there are just on the bird.
On the same bird, yeah.
Yeah. I was expecting like, do you like my, editing?
Plan ahead of time.
Head, body, tail?
Yes,
There's like 3
Can I
different
see your
kinds of
design?
insulating
Your
feathers.
friend did you
So you didn't plan ahead of time?
And there's 3 or
Roasted.
4 different kinds of flight feathers.
up here.
No, we've talked about this since the beginning of the school year.
I'm gonna Google
That's your problem.
red-tailed hawk feather types and see
How'd
what
you
I
look at
get.
the name?
Oh, just because that means
Uh-oh, formative assessment coming,
Uh-oh.
feels daring. Daniel,
I'm not doing it.
I know.
I'm not.
How do scientists come up with a scientific name?
Just how they feel like
No.
it. Yep.
No,
Oh, I know.
no.
Yes. Why not?
Does anybody know the answer?
It's
Do
what's
they pick the
bottom
Latin-
name,
The
it's
Latin-
like species, the species name and something else.
No, it's the guy who finds it, and then they put a fancy
Oh,
word in front of it,
I
and it
know.
says like
You're
El
close.
Doro or something like
No, I
that.
know.
El Duro.
I don't know.
They take the
guy who
genus
it
and the
was
species and
Dog
say
like
all of them.
bear.
I don't think that's how it works.
Well,
Whatever.
It doesn't have anything to do with the scientist's last name or his girlfriend's last name?
I don't know.
Or both?
I don't know.
So Riley, on that page I
I'm
sent
going
you
with
with
this, I don't
the
care.
different measurements, if you go down to the bottom, it says
You're making
additional
sense
images of
over there,
red-tailed
Parker.
hawk,
Am
and
I?
here are all the different feather types.
Yeah, I was looking
I
for that.
tried. I tried.
So like 3 different types.
This is not gonna this is what it turns into.
Yes.
There was a giant explosion, et cetera, et cetera, in the science.
The giant explosion.
What happened because of the
Wait, so it's just I have a question.
It's just, I mean,
Okay, well, that's why we modify.
a really expansive list of all the different feathers of the red-tailed hawk. It's cool you're doing so much.
A taxonomic chart is part of your requirements.
Just use it as a resource to explain a little bit.
She's for bioactive infographic. I got that down. So then can you typically sign it then?
That's kind of what we're thinking.
So can you sign it?
Is it done?
Yeah.
Or is it?
It's done. No, it's done. It's done.
Okay, so let me ask
I
you a
got it
question
done.
here.
And you and Taylor been back here talking about it?
Yeah.
Been helping you and?
Yeah, yeah, we've been bouncing ideas off each other.
Okay.
So then can you?
So she did that.
So then
So
can
I
you?
think she did.
No,
Okay,
this
this
is
is
what
what
it
it
is.
is.
I think,
Do that.
This is mean.
well,
You're gonna have
I
to have
doubt it.
justification as to how it got.
She's mean.
Because remember when he started all this, one of the questions asked was.
Oh, when I think the phone
Jane,
off.
don't interrupt, please, I'll be right with you.
Take it
Can you
back
put
now, I don't want
where it
Doesn't work like
belonged? Yeah,
that.
put it back where it belonged. Put it back
Super
where it
glue.
belonged, yeah, up there, yep. Yes,
Come off
yeah.
in 3-4 days.
No, put it up there where you got it. So remember the question that
I
he
got
asked
it
you
back
was,
on. It's all
do
good.
you
It's all
think
good.
in 10
all
million
good.
years that tax
It's really annoying, so you take it.
Good. So I should bring back some Mr. Clean since I left that bottle.
And if you don't have a different
Sucks.
taxonomic
These
chart
things
for
suck.
each step along the way,
He
then
gets to
what
sleep
evolution has
with them
occurred?
on.
My little brother kicked them all off and
But
then.
if you put them where they gotta go, and then
APA.
put some duct tape on it.
Me and my dad actually wrapped it.
Oh, that? I think we can leave it right there.
Are we
My
good?
little brother had to wear one when he was.
You need to put it back up in between those two things, right?
It was back there, behind you.
You're talking about the
skeleton.
the skeleton?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can leave it there. What?
Yeah, I can put it back over there.
First, I'm gonna tear them apart.
First time.
Yeah, I agree.
You and Mr. Schneider?
No, you guys are gonna tear them apart.
I need your assistance.
Really?
Yes.
In what?
Stuff.
Cleaner?
Work with me already.
I'm gonna bring some back from Burke.
Really?
Yeah, I
That's
got
your
it.
Tomorrow.
assistance?
I'm going to Burke
I'll send them
tomorrow.
all last hour.
Can I have some assistance, please?
And then I teach some other kids. Then the next day I come here and I teach you guys. And the next day I go there and teach them. And the next day and the next day and the next day.
Yeah, I'll call that good.
Makes me crazy sometimes.
Wait, we're losing.
Did you get what you need, Paige?
Oh, that's blurry.
She did, she just doesn't like the answer.
Can you give me something?
So I'm over it whenever.
It's fine. She just asked me if they have to have all that stuff. Just keep it, we'll deal with that on
I have it, I
Monday,
just don't have
okay?
it explained.
You'll need that picture on Monday.
Thank God I'm not gonna be here.
Right, but isn't that how it is
Jesus.
today?
Praise Jesus.
When do you come back?
Sunday.
Taxonomic
Next
chart
Sunday.
today.
Nice.
What's the taxonomic chart at the first
Mr.
evolutionary
Schneider?
stage?
When you get over here 10 million years ago, it's gonna be exactly the same. How different are they gonna be?
And where did the changes occur?
Yeah.
And when they get different, do they get different? Well, is there a scientific rule about when things need a different name?
No, they're not gonna have a different name.
If they have to, then no evolution has occurred.
Huh. How about that?
You guys.
Would an animal can evolve without changing to get rid of
I'm gonna put a funny here.
So maybe we should decide and then have.
Evolving situations isn't an evolution of an animal though. That's just change in habitat. Jim, just don't interrupt, kiddo, I'm talking to Daniel right now.
Solid bone and penguin.
Not, I'll let you know, I always let you know, every day I let you know. Yep, no, not now, I'll let you know though.
Okay.
So Daniel, you can't,
So
you're
how
not
does that
just
help them?
evolving the habitat, you're evolving the animal.
Do other birds float with their hollow bones?
It just changed life, that's an evolution.
You get 10 more minutes of class.
Can you back that up with scientific fact?
Can you just hang out?
How?
Okay, let's just hang out.
So you're gonna tell
And
me
then
that
in
the
about 5
armed
minutes, we'll
forces
start
of
getting coached on this stuff.
It's not that big of a change.
Yeah, but again, and you have 10 million years.
My point is,
What was, no, that's not what I'm saying.
seagulls,
I'm saying to you that in order for evolution to actually
they have hollow
occur, you
bones.
not need to have a different taxonomic.
Penguins,
Why? Thinking isn't going to
solid
cut
bone.
it, prove it.
So they float? Question mark?
Yes, penguins are.
Right, but you have to prove it based upon what you know about science today and
And buoyancy
taxonomy.
means floating.
So if, it's one thing to think it's gonna stay the same taxonomically.
Where do
Prove that
penguins
it
get their
can.
food?
Prove that the same taxonomic chart for
Where's the bottom go up?
this particular time frame
Can a
and this
seagull get
particular
to the
time
bottom of the
frame
water?
are the same genus and species.
So is that solid bone To help it flow?
I know you do,
Or to
you
help
always
them
do.
sing?
Can I see your design?
Graham, you should leave. Like,
Neutral buoyancy means
Yeah.
you
Because something
go
you-
down and stay
You're-
there.
if
You can come up and stay there. You go all the way to the top and stay there.
Science.
When you go about it, can you stay there without hurting yourself?
Oh my goodness.
It's
Wow.
an
Can you
evolving
Is he
situation.
Don't move
behind?
and stay at the bottom.
Burn.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Same with the seagull.
Riley, that's a problem we don't have to worry about this year.
You can go to the
Aren't you
bottom,
sitting
Log yourself
and
right
don't
into
do
the
nothing and
south.
stay there.
oh
That's
yeah,
how
yeah,
they
I
get to the
stay.
fish. Cause they don't have to fight to stay
But
down.
you're gonna have to show that.
They go down and stay there, and then they fight to go forwards and left and right.
Tell me
That's the
how something is truly
fish.
evolved.
Energy saves.
To get them hollow? Would they just naturally
Line
hollow?
Oh, well, let me
How
ask
did
you this.
bird skeletons end up hollow in the
And
first
we're
place?
not talking about us coming from
Did they start that way, or did they evolve to become that?
Correct. Is the original
Can you change
humans,
Yeah.
the size of this bone?
have the same taxonomic chart as the ones that we are today?
Can gain fat.
I'm saying that because you want that to be true.
Yeah.
Change the amount of
Go
bone
prove
that's
that.
there.
Darn it, come on.
But then I'm looking at this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The young
Is your grandma
people,
still alive?
I'm gonna throw you all under the bus because if I asked you all to see your designs prior to the build, I'm gonna guess that most of you are going to say, well, it's all right here. Well,
Yeah.
but here's part of the problem with that is that some of you are now skipping major portions that need to be in your stuff, and the taxonomy chart seems to be the kicker here.
I got that. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, so I can use that taxonomy chart for one side.
Here's the question that I've proffered to Daniel. Daniel wants to use the same taxonomic chart from the beginning to the end because the only thing that's evolved in his animal is that it's gotten bigger.
Yeah, I'm the
So
same.
stop
You can't
talking
do that.
and listen to everything that's said. My question to him then is that an evolution? So my next question to you is, does a taxonomic chart stay the same if an evolution has occurred?
No.
And you have to know those answers scientifically.
And is there a difference between evolution and speciation?
Or natural selection.
Aren't
Or
those all the same words?
succession. What
Or are
I'm
those
seeing,
different?
yeah, what I'm seeing on an awful lot of infographics is that really level, basic level pieces of information. I have a dog, and now I have this werewolf. And the werewolf is this large. But there's no real scientific backing as to why this information got there.
Somebody give me a super short definition of evolution.
Change.
Over. Things change over time. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, still things change over time. Right?
You mean you might have gotten bigger?
I still don't understand.
Is that evolution? If things get bigger?
Yeah.
Yes. Is it speciation?
No.
What's speciation?
The species changes.
Things change enough that they become a different species. What's succession?
Wait, what did you say? What is
What is succession?
Becoming better.
Back there behind Cypress.
No, but nice try. Thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing.
Fail. Lost all the money.
A king has a successor,
That's
yes.
actually a pretty good
Is there a
analogy.
charger for this?
Yeah.
No battery. Winner.
So, if we go out to,
Decide to go all haywire.
we go out south of town, there's a game preserve, right? That's not the right word for it though.
The
Waterfowl production area.
area.
Okay? And nobody plants stuff in there, right? Nobody goes out and sprays the weeds? So it just kind of naturally changes over time?
Yeah.
Go back to when your grandparents were your age. Did it look exactly like it looks today?
No.
How was it different?
I will let you know. In 2 minutes left.
Assuming that that was a protected area at the same, all the way through? More trees or fewer trees,
That's perfect.
right? So either the trees are moving in there or the trees are moving out there, but they're not staying the same?
Or different
2 minutes.
Different grasses, tall, oh, hold it. Don't we live in the tall grass prairie?
Yeah.
What the heck is a tall grass prairie?
We have.
What we live in.
We cut it though.
When the first white man came to South Dakota,
White man.
It was tall grass.
sitting on a horse, had to stand in the saddle to see over all the grass,
Yeah.
right?
Jamin, I'll let you know.
We have that grass today.
No, because we mow it down because humans destroy stuff.
Tall grass today is like belt buckle high, right?
We tilled, destroyed all that grass.
So-
Better grass.
The habitat changed over time, and when volcanoes go up, is there ever plants and trees and stuff right there?
No.
Yeah.
Like the lava comes out, covers everything, and then what covers the lava?
The hard lava when it's
Sedimentary.
Sedimentary stuff,
That-
mosses,
by the wind.
lichens, and then that starts trapping dirt, and then there's a little bit of dirt there, so we start getting a little bit of really short grasses, and then like in my yard there's clover, places where the grass doesn't want to grow. That's a really short grass type thing.
That is a pain in the butt.
Okay, and then you get grasses, and then the grasses trap more dirt, and that gets more soil, and more soil means you can have bigger plants, so we start getting bushes and shrubs, and then we get more dirt, and then we get trees. What's that called when that happens?
growing.
You've had this before, right?
Here's the deal
That's
with this.
succession.
Those
Making an
terms that
ecosystem.
are in your directions need to be able to be understood. Make sure that you can do that. The second thing I would question with some of you is just I'm walking around the classroom, make sure that you're doing an infographic, not an outline on a giant sheet of paper. Infographics are a snapshot, visual, textual, but it's not something that would take somebody a really long time to look at and read. They should be able to get the information they need in the shortest amount of time possible.
When I hear
I know I'm not looking at you
infographic,
because I think you've done it wrong. I know you guys get paranoid when I do that.
I'm pretty
It-
sure I
it's
can
in-
be.
I am,
Info
yes,
and
it's
graphic,
Brooklyn.
right?
Brooklyn's done this completely wrong.
it's information and
Yeah,
graphic
remember she
means
failed right away.
picture.
Yeah.
So you need pictorial information. Infographic, pictorial information.
Can't find picture.
Young people, if you read your directions, remember what it said. Drawings.
It says be creative.
You
and have
just
fun.
think that I'm an artist
No,
over
that's close
here.
enough.
Use illustrations.
You've seen my drawing.
It doesn't say to use drawings.
Yes, it does.
How can you tell the difference between a cat I drew and a dog I drew?
You can't
Can't.
do
The
that.
shape of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ears.
you can.
You label it.
You put
There's gonna be a label on it, and you'll know exactly if it's a cat or a dog or a short horse.
The other thing
Because
I'm
they're all
throw
gonna look
you-
the same when I draw them.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw you all
A
under
pony?
the bus, because remember, we told you were gonna have an hour and then you had to turn it in today. How many of you spent any amount of time finishing it up so that you could finalize in that hour today? How many of you just hoped you
Now
could
it's
get
time
it
for you
done
to put all
today?
your stuff in your bag.
I worked on getting all my
Grab your
information.
Because we have like 3 minutes to yell for you. And then you're gonna go to lunch.
Turn it in, you're a minute, upload it,
And then start
upload
getting
it,
your coat. Yep.
upload it,
How do I do that?
Whatever.
upload it.
this all loaded.
I don't know what your program is, Paige. Figure it out.
Pick two chart, that's why I said to you, pick two chart, people. You can't upload, you can't do a PDF, you have to figure something out there.
I know.
Download the picture. Download. But you can't see the picture because you can't see
No, I don't want to show the pages.
And don't lose your stuff, don't, because you know what we're gonna do, we're gonna evaluate these, right?
I hope we get modified these. If I actually
We're
wanna
going to
finish
have to
it.
modify, I can almost
Good.
guarantee it.
No, I don't think so.
I want to finish it. I don't know if I'm gonna finish
Wait,
it. right.
Parker actually wants to finish something in science class?
No
What?
kidding.
Finish everything in science class.
I think he's just trying to see if we have a heart attack and die, so he doesn't have to finish it.
No, I do want to finish
You'll be able to
it.
look at
I like
it.
it.
Well,
You can always just present your
Then you can
computer.
see. Yeah, here, so if you, it'll be in a file.
Where's it go?
Yeah, I like the game for Photoshop because that would help a lot.
Go for it.
Mrs. Keller, did you hear
I use
Riley?
that for other stuff too.
GIMP
He
is
just gave
free.
you kudos, he said you helped him a lot.
Oh, yay, great.
Photoshop is free with pictures.
Thanks, Riley. Glad I could help.
Yeah.
Should take stairs. Make it go down the stairs.
I mean, it works.
Second drafts are always better than first.
Maybe we can
Not these.
Those ones will
There's a song.
Do you have all this stuff?
And it says this is.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Made a
risk,
Maybe
but
that's something.
how many different times goes around now?
I did it with a couple kids once.
I was gonna start from 10, but I gave up on it.
How come?
Because I was not gonna be able to get it
Don't let
done.
you go back.
And I worked with it last